We've come to the part of the process where it takes a little bit longer to do what we're doing, and I'll show you what it is right here. You can see I got the plaster cloth up there, but let me show you how I got to that point and what I've been doing all day long. Since the last video, I did a little bit more, and let me turn this around to show you what it is. All right, I glued everything in place and then put the cork road bed in up so far up to here. I laid the track right here just to see what it looks like. Just wanted to, I just eyeballed it in and didn't realize what it was, but that is a 24-inch radius right there, and right here it's a little bit more than a 24-inch radius, so I got some pretty broad curves right there. So I got it all glued into right here. This part is glued into right here. The bottom part is glued in, but not the cork road bed. So that's where we're going to start today. And then once we get that in, I have to cut out a piece of cardboard to bring the street, the driveway here and the street down to over here on a grade, a little bit steeper grade than what this is right here. And that's where we're going to go with that. I got to find something else to prop these up in. Maybe I'll just cut these a little bit shorter, and I got to find some 1/4 inch, because this is I need this up about 1/4 inch, and we're going to put that on an angle like that because of the difference in the grade right there. So we're getting there, and then once I get all that, then we'll be able to put some plaster cloth on the edge here. And what I'm going to do, I still need to put a 1x2 underneath here because this sags a little bit. So I think I'll be able to grab and stick a screw down in here just to grab the 1x2. And then I'm going to put a fascia, because I don't trust the train running this close to the edge. So the fascia is going to come up a little bit, so a little bit higher than the track, and it'll come down just low enough for the 1x2 right here, so it won't block too much on the bottom view. Take that out of there, and you can see the bottom right there. This is all the stuff that is on the bottom. I think I took off all the junk except for my DCCEX, my Mug Club mug, and my mini tote right here. I just need a place to store that stuff right now. But this is all stored stuff right up here in this area. Oh yeah, one other thing that I did, as you can see right here, I placed some of these flats in the back just to see what it would look like. So I don't know if I'll keep them there permanently. I'll have some kind of flat back there, but you can see it here, and then back in that area right there, and all over throughout there. So this is, I'm going to put like a little viaduct right there, and same thing right there, and put mirrors behind it so you can see yourself. Well, I had to dig into my tote that had all the good pieces of insulation so I could do the roadway. Well, I cut some of this insulation right here, and then a scrap piece of, I think that's probably 5/32 by, 5 inches, and I cut it down, and there's another 1/4 inch right there that I have everything mounted up on there like that. And then I reduced these down, or I cut them on an angle for the street. So now I just have to texture that down, fill in the cracks right there. And I added some more flats behind the tracks to see what it would look like. So just testing out to see how this would look with the flats back behind there, and I think that looks pretty good. So I got the taller ones down on the bottom and then the shorter ones up on the elevated part to make it look a little bit deeper. So we're getting there. Now the next thing I'd have to do is just to get some plaster cloth and cover this stuff up over here and then finish that up over that way. And then I'll have to paint where the streets are. I'll have to find a nice looking color for the streets, paint it, and then stripe it. But this is the only part that I have to worry about with, you know, with the grade. And then the street comes over here also. The street will come this way, down this way, and there will be a little grassy area right here. And then the street will come, follow the track, and go. It'll go over to that street right there, and then the street will cross. I can't wait to see what all this looks like when I'm finished. I'm excited about it. Here we go with a clean slate, and let me show you what I'm talking about here. So I had to clear it off again because we're going to start doing some painting. I got everything lined up here for where the street is and where the building is. And I took most of the buildings down here in the flats, left the flats all the way up on the back, but I took some photos and printed it out of what everything looks like so I could reference that and work on that. Look at this and then contour all this stuff here for what I'm supposed to be doing with it. So now comes the fun part. The most time-consuming part of this hobby is waiting for glue to dry so you could go on to the next step. So while that is drying, I gotta find me a paint for the street. Well, I glued this down. I put glue in the center spot of it, and I had these paint cans on top of it, and it warped. So I'm gonna have to get the paint cans aren't strong enough. And even this one right here, I had the anvil on this one and it seemed to come up. So I'm gonna have to try to put a little bit of glue on the edges and see if I can weigh that one down. But I'm gonna have to get some screws on this and weigh that back down. Yeah, look at that. All 3 of the sides. I ended up putting 4 screws in that long sheet and re-gluing the other part that was the base for Matthias plywood. Note to myself, whenever gluing flat sheets of basswood to something else, put glue on the entire surface, because whatever isn't glued down warps up. Now comes the brutally slow process of doing scenery. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, I got the plaster cloth up to this point right here, all along the edge and along the street and over there. I had to put screws on all 4 corners of that stuff and glue down this even more to get it to stay down. Apparently, you have to glue every square inch of the flat pieces of wood in order for it to stick. Otherwise, whatever is not glued is going to warp. That's what I found out there. So here's where we are. We're going to call it a night because my back is hurting from being up here on this stool doing this scenery up here. So there's all the photos that I have that I took up on the wall for me to put everything back when I'm finished. I still have to look for the paint for the roadway, and once I get this finished up to about that point up there, Then I'm going to start coloring this and putting scenery in and putting everything back together.